continues.
Oil and gas property tax revenues provide millions of dollars to Texas school districts each year and make up the majority of the funds many school districts rely on to operate. That story as we highlight High Plains Energy.
In fiscal year 2024, the Texas oil and gas industry paid a record-breaking $27.3 billion in state and local taxes and state royalties, contributing to funding for community needs from roadways to school districts. Revenue from oil and gas property taxes gives substantial boosts to school districts across the state, which all rely on a mix of mostly local taxes as well as some state and federal funds. However, that revenue doesn't always benefit the same communities workers live in, nor does it offer steady funding year to year. For districts like Canadian ISD, where 71% of its tax base is made of oil and gas properties, a boom or bust for oil and gas could make or break the budget. The same can be said for many other rural districts in the Texas Panhandle. Richard B.A., a former member of the Perryton ISD School Board and current chairman of the Panhandle Producers and Royalty Owners Association, commented on the heavy impact the oil and gas industry can make on schools from year to year, for better or worse.
So if they get in the good times and the economic booms, bad, poor times, hard times. So you go from actually funding your school system, and then you are in pretty good shape, and then a crash comes along, and then you start having to lay people off or evaluate that or raise taxes. None of them are good choices.
BA is among those calling for lawmakers to make changes to help schools keep steady budgets amid the volatile market. While the 89th Texas legislature had some impact with its changes to school funding, including a bit of an increase for the basic allotment per student, no specific changes were made to help steady the effects of the oil and gas commodity cycle on schools. BA also remarked on the need for a greater understanding of the impact oil and gas can have on education in Texas.
If I was to emphasize anything here, would be that, one, we need to understand the total impact oil and gas on the Texas economy, and then what falls out of that, of course, is the money into public education and the college funds and the rainy day funds. So the impact's huge, and I think we manage it successfully. We can end up with a better education system and better, we aren't fighting the battles some of these other states are right now.
All the same, for the foreseeable future, the Texas oil and gas industry will continue to be a resource upon which many of the state's school districts heavily depend.
More information on Texas school funding and the impact of the oil and gas industry can be found on myhighplains.com.